but he informed me that members of the Inquisitor's retinue who carry a document to prove it can visit her. Oh. Ah, Mr. Funny that's standing outside of Johanka's bedroom. He's probably got such a document, doesn't he? So, the question is, can I get the document from him? Actually, a better question is, can I get the document from him without getting caught and without having to kill him? Okay, he's not.
Good health to you, Henry.
Thank you. Could he be upstairs? He was outside Johanka's room. Hello, your Inquisitoriness? Are you... Okay. Is he sleeping alone, or is he with the guard? No, he's alone. Okay, maybe he has the note. Okay. Oh. It's a wall. It's you and the woofing at walls thing. All right. So I don't know where... That's Pebbles. Stop woofing at Pebbles. I tell you what. Let's go back to the inn and get a good night's sleep. There they go. You know, I always had a feeling that these monk robes... Oh, there's a third. Yeah, I always had a feeling these monk's robes would come in useful again one day. Okay. If I get seen, I'm just a novice. Okay, alright. Playing truancy. Alright. Oh, maybe I should use... Maybe I should use a Nighthawk potion. Probably should. Alright, what do we have here? Nothing. Yeah, you know. Nighthawk. Oh, do I have many... I've got 2 Padfoot. Alright, that might help, although my sneak and my lockpicking's pretty much at the limit. So unless I need to pickpocket, and if I need to pickpocket, I am so in trouble. I mean, I sort of remember how to do it. Okay, we're not here to rob. Look at this. Johanka sends me on a penitence, and I'm almost immediately breaking and entering. That is almost certainly what I need. Oh. Get out of here. Do not spend any more time. I don't want to be seen, just in case this guy realises his... Mind you, if he realises those papers have been stolen... Okay, brilliant. Okay, let's go get changed. If he realises those papers have been stolen... Oh, shh. You know what? I'll get changed somewhere else. If he realises they're stolen and he checks with the guard, he's going to figure out who it was. I could do with putting those papers back once I've used them. All right. That could work. Now, can I talk to the prisoner in the middle of the night? You would actually think I could, really. I mean, she's going to be guarded all night. But Inquisitor business and everything. Possibly a good idea. Then less people see me go in. All right, let's go get changed. Oh, it might be a good idea for me to read those papers beforehand, just to make sure they don't say anything incriminating, like, you know, these papers belong to a very short blonde person or something. Also, may want to just wash myself. Right. It's probably Inquisitor's retinue papers. I, by the will of God, Papal Inquisitor and Bishop of Sarepta, Yaroslav of Benešov, hereby confirm that the bearer of this document is a member of my retinue, and as such must be accorded the honour befitting that station, and must not be hindered from carrying out my commands, must be offered every compliance thereto. Okay, dog, please, shh. Actually, no, you don't need to shush. I'm on official business. Yes, I am. Official church business, and I'm going to wave a torch in your face so that all you see is the torch. Hello, I'm back.
Here's a document. See?
Show me that. That's fine. Thank you.
Yes. Okay.
Goodbye.
Johanka,
Okay.
are you all right?
Yes, Henry. I'm fine. I'm glad to see you.
I spoke to the Inquisitor. He wants to put you on trial.
I know.
Are those guards listening?
It's all in God's hands now.
No, it's not. I mean, it is, of course.
Do they even care?
But the bishop has allowed me to defend you.
You want to defend me? Thank you, Henry. That's very kind of you. But you needn't bother. Our Lady won't let anything bad happen to me. I am her instrument, and I am completely in her hands. Everything that's happening is her sacred will.
But I won't stand by with my arms folded.
Right.
You need someone to testify for you. As I said, I will defend you.
What
If you insist. Maybe it's the will of the Virgin that you came to me.
That's what I was thinking.
So be it then.
I am her instrument. I am. We have to flee. No. Maybe. I don't like that idea. I was going to say selling her into servitude to Sebastian. I did the pilgrimage. We could talk about that later. What did the bishop talk to you about? Yeah.
What did Bishop Yaroslav ask you about?
All sorts of things. Like how the Virgin Mary visits me, what she shows me, and about preaching to the people. Actually, he was really quite pleasant. He asked me about scalets, whether I go to church, and a lot of other things. And in the end, he told me I mustn't speak in public again about the visitations and that. But I couldn't obey an order like that. The Blessed Virgin is testing me, and I have to do what she asks, no matter who or what stands in the way.
I'd say he wasn't too happy about that.
No. He came there with his men, dispersed the people, and had me arrested and locked up here.
I'm not sure it's going to change anything, but just in case...
I went to Ujits, like you asked.
That's good, Henry. I hope you purged yourself of your sins.
I did the pilgrimage of penance, like you said. And in the church, I begged the Virgin Mary for forgiveness.
And she will bless you, Henry. You're a good man. Remember that. And don't stray into wrongdoing again.
I won't. I made a donation to the church, too. And the parish priest there, Father Godwin, he was asking about you.
Was he? Well, what did you tell him?
Oh, just about everything that's going on and the things you were saying. He was quite moved by it, to tell the truth. He even gave me some writings.
You see? Maybe Our Lady is giving you a sign, too.
Okay. I'm hearing footsteps. Oh, it's just a guard. I don't think any of these guards care. They're not going to go running off to the Inquisitor. I mean, generally speaking, people don't actually like to speak to Inquisitors. So, you know. All right.
About that trial?
Yes, the trial.
So, trying to broach this subtly, and apparently I'm going to just dive right in.
I'll get some people who will testify for you in court. But Brother Nicodemus is worried you'll say things that will make the Inquisitor angry. Please don't do that. You have to talk to him respectfully, answer his questions with humility, and not say anything to annoy him. And don't say anything against the church or priests. Please.
I'll say only what the Blessed Virgin wants me to say.
No, please.
Johanka, please.
Oh.
You mustn't say anything against him or the church. Be contrite. Maybe even admit you might have been wrong about some things. I don't think the Inquisitor is so bad. If you submit to him, he'll drop the charges.
You too now. You're speaking exactly the same as his assistant. The two of you joined forces against me, did you?
No!
I've nothing to do with him. I didn't even know he was here. Believe me, I'm really trying to help you.
You don't believe me anymore, do you?
I believe you, it's just... Look, I believe you, it's just...
I do, Johanka, I believe you. But in court, you must speak reasonably,
Priests
prudently.
do this all the time.
A lot depends on it.
They...
Maybe even your
You
life.
know.
I appreciate your concern for me, Henry, really. I do. But you must understand. I can't deny that the Virgin Mary visits me, or what she wants to tell us. Not now. After everything that's happened, I can't. Otherwise, she won't heal Matthias.
But you have to consider yourself and what's good for you. Surely you don't want to be convicted of heresy? That won't do anyone any good, neither you nor Matthias.
I've already told you. Everything is in the hands of the Blessed Virgin. I will accept with humility the fate she grants me.
Sacra. This is going to be a right mess.
We have to flee. No. Can I tell Brother Nicodemus how it went? Can we... Thank you very much. Can we figure a way to bloody well heal Matthias? I mean, do you know? I've fixed everyone else up in there. If we can do that, then we can... Oh, look! You see? This is the Virgin Mary sending you a sign to shush. I mean...
Yeah.
Can't... I mean, I knew she wasn't going to sort of lie, but there's ways of saying things. The priesthood has been doing it for ages. Yes, you have the word of God, but, you're translating it into a language men can understand would be the charitable way of describing it. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, can I put the document back now? Or will I need it again at some...
Yeah.
I might need it again at some point. I mean, it is possible that... It is possible, isn't it? Yeah, no, all right. We'll keep it for now. I do hope Nicodemus has got some bright bloody ideas. Although last time I tried to heal the people in here, it had me running all over the place for days on end. Oh. Okay. You know, night vision and a torch. Not a good mix. Alright. It is him, isn't it? Okay. Okay.
I spoke to Johanka.
And did you manage to convince her?
I'm afraid not. She's stubborn. She says she answers only to the Blessed Virgin.
Oh dear, Henry. That's not good at all. What about her family? Doesn't she have a relative she might listen to?
No. None of them survived the raid on Skalitz.
She has no one at all left in the world? Poor child.
Alright, no, she has me, she has Matthew and Fritz, and she has Teresa, and she has Matthias. But I have a feeling that's the one we've got about Johanka and the... Okay.
What actually happened here?
Did I not
Johanka
exhaust
told me you went
everything?
to Auschwitz.
Yeah? What's that got to do with anything?
The Inquisitor showed up here not long after you left.
Yeah, you told me
Apparently
this.
you heard about Johanka's preaching somehow. He even observed one of her...
Okay, let's go with I don't like the sound of that.
Sounds
Yeah.
pretty serious.
It is. I'm afraid it could be very serious indeed.
That did not remotely help, damn it.
Goodbye.
Dude, we've got to try and find a cure
Johanka?
for Matthias. Did you? That's He said her name.
Matthias? You're better.
Henry? Is it you?
Yes, it's me. Who else would it be?
I'm glad you're here, Henry. I feel a bit better now. I'd even like to eat something. I must tell Johanka. She'll be glad.
Okay, so he's just miraculously healed. Okay, maybe the Blessed Virgin is. Okay, doesn't matter. Right, that's not possible. That's not good. Okay, Johanka is not. Yeah, okay.
Johanka's not here.
Oh? Where is she?
How to begin? Look, things got a bit complicated here. The main thing is... Johanka is in jail, awaiting trial.
What? What happened?
Johanka claims the Virgin Mary visits the Virgin Mary. Let's just go with...
The Virgin Mary is speaking to Johanka, and Johanka is spreading her word to the people. But there is this Inquisitor who heard about it and had her arrested. He's putting her on trial for heresy.
Oh my God. How could such a thing happen? But if Our Lady is speaking to her, surely nothing can happen to her.
Well, I hope not. Trouble is, Johanka is very obstinate, and she's likely to say things in court that will just make it worse for her. Listen, Matthias, I need you to go with me and talk to her. Maybe together we can convince her to see sense.
I wish I could. But I'm still too weak to even get out of bed. I'm sorry, Henry. I just can't do it. You know what? Tell her I'm feeling better, and I agree with everything you tell her. Give her this dice. She'll understand. It'll almost be like I was there with you.
Dice? Okay, right. Well...
Nice.
Oh. It's a long story. Johanka knows all about it.
I
Or
may have...
You can ask Teresa, too.
I may
All right.
have actually
If you say so.
heard that
Henry.
story.
Please, look out for her. And make sure nothing happens to her.
I'll do my best.
Goodbye.
Good, but... All right, so... Yeah. All right, you know what? Just... Thank you. Oh, where are you? Come on, we are running back, and then hopefully this time she will you know, see sense. Please? Okay. This is going to look a little suspicious, isn't it? No, I suppose not. No, we're preparing for a trial and we have lots of details to... About the trial, we have to... No.
About that trial?
Yes, the trial.
Is it good news?
I spoke to Matthias.
What? But he's lying in a fever, isn't he?
No, he's much better. He asked about you. He wanted to come here, but he's not strong enough yet.
Oh, that's wonderful. You see? Our Lady helped him. And now, I have to do my part.
But doesn't it mean that you've already done your part?
Yes!
Well,
She's saying you've done...
What would be the point of it all if the Inquisitor were to have you imprisoned now? Or even worse?
It's a message. A final test. I mustn't fail now. After everything.
No.
But you already passed the Virgin Mary's message on.
That!
Many people heard it, and many of them have amended their ways. You certainly haven't failed. Look, Matthias gave me this for you, and he asked me to tell you to look out for yourself.
Thank you, Henry. Go now. I need to rest.
Does that mean you'll be... Does that mean you'll be nice? Did it... Yeah, I'm really sorry about the whole breaking into the Inquisitor's things and everything. You know, I mean, I know that's wrong. I know it's a sin. But I'm trying to do the right thing here. I will put it back. I will go and put it back right now. That's not a sin, is it? Is that a sin? Well, if it is, I'm sorry about that too. But I think it's best to rectify things. And I'm sorry about everything else. Getting into fights, the drinking of wine, although I can't lie to you, I'm probably going to do that again straight after this is all over because I'm not totally sure my nerves can take it. I'll try to, you know, be a little better. You know, if people surrender, I will try to be merciful. If you could just possibly, I don't know, just nudge Johanka a little to be a little less confrontational tomorrow or whenever we do the trial. Yeah. I think that's about it. And just if there's anything I forgot, I'm sorry about that too. For some odd reason, I don't want to drop it. I don't want to put it back. That's unfortunate. Yes, it is. Let's hope he doesn't check his cupboard first thing in the morning. Okay, that's the, somewhere to get changed. Oh God, no. Oh, fine, I'll go and see Nicodemus. Oh. All right. I can get changed here, I suppose. Is there a door I can close here so I don't disturb everyone? It doesn't actually look like it. Okay.
I spoke again to Johanka and gave her Matthias's message.
That's nice. But will she speak repentfully and cautiously to the Inquisitor?
I don't know. She didn't want to talk about that. I don't know what else I can do.
I have a bad feeling about the whole thing, but I think we've done all we can. All that's left now is to hope and pray.
Well, there is also the option of running away. I just don't think Johanka's going to want to do that. I also don't think that's going to sit well with Matthias. I don't really want to end up leaving her stuck with Sebastian as his mistress on her estate. And let's face it, that's what he's thinking.
See you later.
But like you said, that these guys sometimes work very strange hours, says the man running around. Right, then I think we just go and see him in the morning and, yeah. Hope and pray for the best. Maybe I should have a proper bath before I do that. I want to look my absolute best. Just a bath, though. Nothing else. Just bath, launder my clothes, you know. Cleanliness and all that. Oh! I've woken up with a clean conscience. I've woken up with a clean conscience. Okay. You sleep better with a clean conscience, and with the weight of your mind, you can learn things a bit faster. Okay. So, is it just that it only lasts for a while if I get some sleep, or is it because I did some... You don't think it's because I prayed, do you? Okay, alright, tell you what, let me just check. Sausages are a bit close to their end. But, you know what? Not quite there yet.
Look what I've got for you.
Although
You'll
now I
love
feel
this.
guilty. Is my clean conscience going to be not so good because I'm giving... I mean, it's not off. The sausage is not off. See, now I'm feeling unsure about... You know, it's a sausage. Have a damned sausage. Have a sausage, not a... Oh, this is really not going to be easy. The moment of truth, I guess. Has he noticed the missing document? Hello? Okay, there's a lot... There have been some suspicious activities. There is a... I'll defend her in a duel. Can I do that? I'm wondering if I have a slightly better chance of that one. I could try. I mean, I don't mean to brag, but... I mean, those sort of trials were reasonably... Were they reasonably common? Trial by combat? There's been some suspicious... I wish I could report suspicious activities for the swordsmith's wife. Why did you... Haven't I already asked this?
Why did you have Johanka imprisoned?
I talked to her for a long time about the things she was saying and about her convictions. I warned her that she had to stop preaching in public. And I told her if she had any further concerns, or, as she claims, visions, she should come to me. Johanka chose to ignore my warning and continued with her preaching. Obviously, I couldn't turn a blind eye to that kind of disobedience.
You essentially wanted editorial rights. Yeah, pretty much.
But what's so bad about what Johanka has been saying?
Look here. It's simply unacceptable that anyone at all should come along and stand up in the market square and preach about God's will or how he or she interprets it. God gave us his teachings, which we must honor, and he showed us how to fulfill them. It is only those teachings that lead us on the path to salvation and God's grace. But understanding those teachings is no simple matter. It demands learning, time, and effort. That is one of the tasks of Holy Mother Church. What Johanka has been saying is dangerously close to heresy. She must be brought to see the error of her ways, and her disruptive actions must cease.
Hasn't done anything against God. I don't want to annoy him at the moment, do I? I'm supposed to be defending her, though. I mean, I am supposed to be defending her. The thing is, this doesn't seem to be an issue of she said something against God. It's more a matter of she's interpreting God's word, and that's our job. So this is what he wants to hear, but this is what defends her. So I'm just like, you know...
But Johanka hasn't done anything against God. On the contrary, she's devout, and she's trying to redeem sinners.
Perhaps, but she's also incited disobedience to the nobles, and that is a serious accusation. Think of it like this.
Yeah.
You have to pass through a dark forest filled with hazards. Many paths lead to that forest, but only one will lead you safely through it. You know which is the right path, but others don't. Would you show them the right path, or leave each to choose his own and very likely lose his way?
I'd show them the way. Whether they take it up is up to them. That's not the answer that he wants to hear. Let everyone find their own path. I'd probably show them the correct way, but if they said, I'm not going to follow you, I'd say, well, that's your own funeral. That's the honest answer. I wouldn't force them along the right path.
I'd show them the right path, but it would be up to them whether to take it or not.
But then many would lose their way and die. Because of you. Where it concerns God's mercy and grace, we cannot allow that to happen. You must understand that it is the mission of the Church to care for the soul of every person. It is our sacred duty to lead the people to salvation.
How does the Church know what's right? Johanka is showing the people the right path. Yeah, let's...
How does the Church know which is the right path?
Watch how you speak, Henry.
That's
how you consider such matters.
Question.
God is the fountain of truth.
He
is represented on earth by his holy church and none other. The church was built on the foundations of Christ's apostles, who passed on his wisdom to others, as they passed on the task of leading people to the love of God and thereby to salvation. Do you think the church would now want to lead the people to damnation? That we would consciously corrupt the task that the Son of God passed on to us? We would be condemning not only the people, but ourselves too. It would extinguish the very sense of our existence.
Okay, well, you said that, but I'm going to leave that alone. I didn't say that. I'm saying maybe you get it every now and again a little bit wrong, but then I guess that's the problem here, isn't it? That is an unacceptable thought. The church is... You know what I don't want to do? Upset the guy that's going to judge this case.
You're right, Monsignor. Sorry, all this learning at once was a bit much for me. I got confused. I apologise. Thank you for having the patience to explain it to me.
Good. I'm glad I've dispelled your confusion. I will excuse your error. But in future, do not be misled, because that will open your mind to Lucifer himself.
All right, got it.
That's the very reason why Johanka was wrong to indulge in philosophizing and leading people astray.
But the Virgin Mary visits her. That could upset him.
Monsignor, Johanka is just a simple village girl from Scallis. Are all these legal proceedings really necessary?
They are. The mission of the Inquisition is quite unequivocal, and however trivial, this matter has a broader significance.
What broader significance?
No offense, but these things can't easily be explained to an uneducated boy like you. Still, I'm pleased that you take an interest. Unfortunately, I don't have time for this now. If you really want to know more, ask my assistant. After all, it is also our duty to guide others through the labyrinth of this world.
Yeah, thanks.
Good luck to you.
I want to talk to your assistant because I need all the information I can possibly get.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
Right. What is going on in the world? It's a bit vague, isn't it? But,
The bishop told me this business with Johanka has a wider context, and that you tell me about it.
Oh, very well. If the bishop says so. Look, it's like this. The world as a whole is not in a good state. For decades, people have been perishing from a terrible sickness, the Black Death. There's an anti-pope in Avignon in France who defies the authority of the throne of St. Peter. The people are frightened,
Many of the nobles, instead of caring for peace on earth, are warring, one against another. The authority of many monarchs, and even the emperor, is unfortunately too weak to put things to rights. Many scholars have even started to question established truths, and various contentious teachings have appeared, such as those of the Englishman, Wycliffe.
Okay. It is. It's all about control, isn't it? Want to control the narrative, want to control the thought processes. I mean, at least with Johanka, she's doing it to bring the people closer to God. However, let's not annoy the church officials.
The Black Death?
The plague, my child. A dreadful disease that claimed countless lives. By the grace of God, these parts were not much afflicted, but it took a terrible toll in the surrounding countries. First, the Italian ports were stricken, Venice and Genoa, and then nearly the whole of Christendom. Some regard it as God's punishment for our sins, or even a sign of the approaching parousia.
Yeah.
Paro what?
The parousia, the second coming of Christ. The day when he returns to this world will mark the end of the ages. The dead will rise, and all people will face final judgment for their sins.
Oh. Do you think that's going to happen?
Most assuredly. But God alone knows when that will be.
Oh. I hope it won't be too soon.
Isn't that a bit of a contradiction? I mean, our Lord is coming back. Shouldn't I look forward to it? I mean, not... Okay.
The anti-pope?
Unfortunately, that's a very serious and unpleasant topic. In short, alongside the legitimate Pope, the Bishop of Rome, and successor to St. Peter, another was elected and is usurping the highest glory of being Christ's representative here on earth. This is a most lamentable schism for the whole church, and the Avignon usurper must be compelled to give up his unlawfully acquired office, so the church and the whole of Christendom may again be unified.
So, there are two popes?
Not quite. There is only one, but there are those who refuse to recognize him. The election wasn't correct and valid, and I apologize. It wasn't wise to speak to you of this. It will only confuse you, all the more. Better forget it. We won't talk about it anymore.
I'm not confused about that. It's a turf war, mate. It's a turf war.
You mentioned the Emperor.
God wants unity, a universal order of the world. The Pope, Christ's deputy, and the Emperor, the supreme earthly ruler, crowned by the Pope himself, were instituted in order to preside over that unity. Unfortunately, the gleam of the imperial crown has become somewhat dulled, and his authority is no longer as absolute as it once was. What's worse, his election has become a political game involving many princes, and for a long time, the emperor himself has paid less attention to the affairs of the Christian world and more to his own concerns.
I see.
We kind of knew all that.
And what about these scholars?
That's complicated. Some reject the authority of the Pope or the Church. Others dispute over the legitimacy of government or the nature of the world. Others rebel against teachings. All of them seek all sorts of arguments and explanations to support their claims and argue with others. All this contributes to uncertainty. One doubt leads to another, and soon heretical ideas take hold.
Ah. Uh-huh.
But don't concern yourself. These are weighty matters for others who are learned in such things.
Of course.
Well, I mean, excuse me. I am Sir Radzik's son. I need to educate myself on these matters, do I not? Stop talking to me like I'm an idiot. Probably better at reading than this guy is. Probably not as good as Transcribing, no. Never did manage to get the hang of that. No, I didn't.
Peace on earth.
Yes. Sadly, many countries are torn apart by strife and destroyed by war. In the lands of the English, the French, the Italians, in the Holy Roman Empire, Christians are raising their weapons against other Christians. Love for our neighbor has given way to the pursuit of mammon and high office. They plot against each other to gain advantage. You've seen it yourself, right here in Bohemia, and even in Sasau.
Yes. And in Skalitz.
Indeed, my son. Regrettably.
Right.
But what does all this mean? What has it got to do with Johanka?
As I say, the order of the world is shaken. Division is spreading.
Right.
And confusion and iniquity thrive. It's the handiwork of Lucifer, who wants to lay waste to God's creation. Many have succumbed to his false truths and spread them to others. That's why we must be alert to his snares, especially in these times. Be wary of false prophets and stick to the path of the true faith and personal virtue.
There's a charlatan here. There is, and you know, as tempting as it is to expose him, he's sort of harmless. Well, he isn't harmless. I mean, he is actually succouring some rather gullible people. But at the same time, does he deserve to be burned at the stake? I'd be using him to score brownie points to help save Johanka, and I'm not totally sure Johanka would... Well, I don't know, would she see that as... Because he is a charlatan. I have a feeling not. She's more focused on actual, you know, virtue and sin, I believe. I think she would see... I don't know. And to be honest, though, he's annoying, but he's also not... Don't want to throw him to the dogs.
And Johanka?
Just so. I fear she too may have been ensnared by Lucifer's deceptions, and the false belief that she's been visited by the Blessed Virgin. These machinations of the devil must be faced and stamped out before they take root and cause more evil. But we must not despair. Even those who have strayed from the right path may be redeemed, and that's why Johanka's case is important, although it may not be immediately apparent.
I understand.
It's pretty apparent. It's pretty apparent. What does it all mean? Oh, I can probably, yeah. All right. No, thank you very much.
Thanks. I won't bother you anymore.
Take care.
Right. It's essentially the status quo is under threat. The status quo is under threat, and the people who are thriving under the status quo are a little nervous. And if they can get somebody who seems to be threatening that status quo to apologise, repent, and say, no, you were right in the first place, their hold on power will last just a little longer. And whether or not Johanka is actually speaking to the Virgin Mary is pretty much irrelevant to these people. Yes, it is.